welcome to the Q4 workshop, how to close out the year with an extra 50K. That is our theme. That is our mission here, and you are in the right place. If you're a successful B2B consultant, trainer, speaker, coach, facilitator, and up until now, 3/4 of the way through 2024, maybe your year is down, maybe your year is flat, or maybe you're having a great year, but you want to put gas on the fire and you want to finish strong. Most consultants, most B2B executive coaches, trainers, professional speakers, business book authors, they're looking at Q4 going, okay, it's a sprint to Thanksgiving and then it's dead. Back of November, no one wants to talk to me. No one's in the office. Holidays, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Christmas, holiday slowdown. If you don't want to have a holiday slowdown, and by the way, almost all of our clients do a lot of business, huge amounts of business in December and January. I'll show you why, and so you can too. But this is actually a wonderful opportunity to reverse that trend. And instead of a holiday slowdown, you have an amazing bump in your 2024 revenue, and you also do a great job setting the foundation for a strong 2025. So let's do that for you. That would be fun. You're also in the right place if you want to take charge, finish strong, and maybe even reverse a sales slump because of client and prospect uncertainty, the economy, the whole election craziness that we're going through. There's a lot of clients and a lot of prospects that are sitting on the sidelines. And some of the strategies that we'll talk about today, some of the offers, some of the packaging is specifically designed to build in extreme relevance, extreme urgency, and get people off the fence. And of course, you're ready to take action because Slumpy's not going to fix itself, my friends. Write that down. That's your first big note of the day. Slumpy is not going to fix itself. So you have to be ready to pick up some tools that I'm going to give you here on this masterclass, and you should be ready to take action. Action Jackson. Now, some folks have seen this model before. I have cherry-picked 3 specific things out of our model for a high-fee expert business. And if you look at it, the first circle, which is really around crystal clear positioning, distinct messaging, and compelling offers, that's around having a differentiated brand. That's around having more influence in your industry and in your niche, moving from a generalist to a specialist. Here, we're going to talk about compelling offers. That's the first thing we're going to dig into. The second area is really the sales and the mix of inbound and outbound and connection building strategies. So that's targeted leads, optimized outreach, and reliable conversion. That's really about mastering your sales process, having a strong pipeline, having a reliable pipeline. And there we're going to talk about optimized outreach, specifically cash campaigns, renewal campaigns, and referral campaigns. And then the third area is around scaling, having systematic growth, moving from incremental stop and start growth to really exponential growth. We're not going to talk about team. We're not going to talk about scalable leverage in this workshop, but we are going to talk about some amazing Q4 revenue multipliers. So if you've seen that model before, what I've lit up there for you in green meaning cash, green meaning cash money coming into your pocket, that's where the 50K of extra Q4 revenue is going to come from. So let's talk about the first thing, which of course is a 10K easy first step. And this is like the Matrix, my friends. You remember the pivotal scene in the Matrix where Neo has the opportunity to take the red pill or the green pill. I'm sorry, the blue pill. The blue pill looks green in this picture, but it's blue. Red versus blue. The red pill is I show you everything and we see how far the rabbit hole goes, see how deep the rabbit hole goes. The blue pill is you go back to sleep, you wake up in this artificial world, and you are just a sheep, and you're plugged back into the machine. You're plugged back into the Matrix. Obviously, Neo takes the red pill. I'm going to encourage you to take the red pill. This $10,000 easy first step offer is the key, one of the keys, that will unlock a significant amount of revenue and a significant amount of opportunity, not only in Q4 of this year, but in setting the foundation for all of next year as well. So let's talk about what that looks like. This is really about offer engineering. Your irresistible offer, it's not the, so it's, people say, well, I'm gonna totally renovate my business model. And sometimes you don't need to do that. I'm gonna totally renovate my service model, and you don't need to do that. I'm gonna totally renovate my pricing, and sometimes you don't need to do that either. The offer is how you are presenting the service. the coaching, the consulting, the digital courses, the facilitation, the speaking, whatever it is. In this case, we're talking about a very specific kind of 10K front end offer or door opener offer. But let me walk you through the 7 levers that you have when it comes to offer engineering. So the first one is it needs to be focused. And the way that folks talk about this in the offer engineering world is you are solving one problem for one person with one particular method. So it's a 1-1-1. 1-1-1 is the note you want to write down. So you're solving a very specific problem for one specific person in one specific way. The more general you are, the less relevant you are. The more broad you are, the more you're commoditizing what you're doing. So even if you have lots of tools in your toolkit and lots of services in your portfolio, the lead generating product, the lead $10,000 door opener needs to be focused on solving one exact kind of problem for one exact type of prospect using one exact type of method. So for example, let's say that I have a 1-day branding intensive for solo consultants to help them differentiate and decommoditize themselves. This is only relevant to solo consultants. I'm making this up, but I've also done this. Only relevant to solo consultants. That's the one person. The one problem is differentiation, or the way to phrase the problem is decommoditize what they do so they start to own a category of one. So differentiation is the problem. And one method is 1-day VIP day. So I've called these VIP days, I've called these think tank days, where they fly out, or we can also do it on Zoom. And there's a structured process that I take people through. There's like you have a structured process that you take your people through. But that kind of thing, and by the way, don't be surprised if I trot this out here towards the end of October and early November. So if you want to talk to me about that, we can talk about it. But that 1-day think tank day for solo consultants, if you're on a delicatessen in Brooklyn, I'm not going to be able to help you. If you're on a small Motel 6 in Peoria, I can't help you. This is only in this scenario. This is only for solo consultants. It's only for people who have a differentiation problem or a commodity problem, that they're a commodity. They're not seen as different, cooler, better, faster, smarter than their competition. And the method is 1-day think tank day. And that's $10,000. All of these offers are going to be $10,000 for you. So that is what I mean by focus. Luckily, the rest of these go a little bit quicker. Number 2 is outcome-based, right? Outcome-based is, where are we going? What's the destination? The destination is you will then have a differentiated brand. You will stand head and shoulders above the competition. You will become not only the smartest choice, you will become the safest choice. This is what I would talk about in a sales letter. This is what I would talk about in a Google Doc if I had a Google Doc to promote this think tank day. This is what I would do in my live stream videos if I'm using videos on LinkedIn, for example. So mention the outcome. The outcome is, of course, a key part of your irresistible offer. The third thing, it needs to be tangible. So what do I get? What do I get? So when I talk about this think tank day around differentiation, we talk about, we sort out your naming, we sort out your branding, we sort out your integrated product suite. So you will leave with a series of brands, sub-brands, naming and branding structure, a strategy for how to talk about your keynotes, your TED Talk, your book, your webinars, if you need to change your company name or your website domain, marketing copy, sales copy. There are takeaways, there are tangible things that you get. It's not like, oh, then you'll have clarity. No one's paying for clarity, my friends. No one's paying for clarity. You will get what you want. You will feel focused. No one's going to pay you 10 grand to feel focused. They're going to pay you 10 grand for a very specific outcome that has some tangible, specific takeaways. Number 4 is polarizing. So I had a client years and years ago, Cajun gentleman. He said that one of the pieces of wisdom from his dad, who was in his 90s, is, son, if somebody doesn't hate your, I'm sorry, you're not successful. Son, you're not successful. I can't do the Cajun accent. Sorry. Son, you're not successful until somebody hates your guts. You're not successful until somebody hates your guts. So I think I've checked that box. I think some people hate my guts. I'm good. Maybe some of you hate my guts. I'm not sure. Hopefully there's some love. There should also be some hate, and it should be polarizing, right? So who it's for and who it's not for, who it resonates with and who it doesn't resonate with. Ideally, this attracts your best fit clients, and it's not even not relevant to everyone else. It repels everyone else. It repels, like, ew, I would never buy that. I would never sign up with her. Absolutely not. She's not my cup of tea. Number five is differentiated. So your offer itself, not just your company, your name, your brand, your book, your TED Talks, your paid keynotes, but this offer needs to be differentiated. This offer needs to be branded or have a certain method or model or intellectual property. So let's go back because you've seen this before, right? This is our model. This is our intellectual property. This is how we talk about the three big areas where we help clients and the nine, we call them accelerators, that are around the outside edge. Three that will get you a differentiated brand, three that will get you stronger sales and a better pipeline, and three that will ensure your systematic growth. So you need to have somewhere in your world a method or a model or some intellectual property infrastructure that tells people, number one, you've thought this through. Number two, you know what you're doing. People love systems and they love process because it's a source of trust and it's a source of reliability, that you're not winging it, you're not making it up as you go along, that there is a proven step-by-step roadmap that you'll be taking your clients through. So process, I'm sorry, what did I say? Process and systems? Process and certainty. Two things that clients love: process. Number two is certainty. Time bound, getting X result in Y time frame. So I could say, hey, we're all going to lose 20 pounds. Okay, well, I can lose 20 pounds by, let's say, 3 years from now, and that's probably when I'd put it off. Very different than lose 20 pounds in 90 days. Or add $50,000 to your Q4 revenue, right? So even the offer for you to come into this masterclass was, let's make $50,000 in October, November, and December. That is 50K, 90 days, specifically in Q4. And then the bonus, this one's optional. In a B2B environment, you don't necessarily need it. B2C, it's helpful. And even if you're selling to small and solo businesses, it's helpful. Can it be backed with some sort of guarantee? Risk-free guarantee. Doesn't have to be a money-back guarantee, although it could be. It could be a, we will work with you until you get that outcome, that result, right? You'll get that result within the time frame that we promise, or we will work with you for free until you do. Or it could be 100% money back guarantee. You bring me into your company, I do an amazing keynote, I blow people's heads off. If it's not unanimous, if the program committee is not unanimous that this was one of the top 3 speakers that you've ever brought in, I'm going to return your speaking fee. What? So that person must be pretty confident that they're going to deliver a home run program and be among the top 3 speakers that organization has ever had, or you get the $15,000 fee back. Now, do you have to do that? No, of course not. Is it interesting? Is it intriguing? Does it show a certain level of confidence and certainty? Does it lower the buyer's risk or perceived risk? It does. So that's a bonus. So let's talk about what's in your 10K offer. Let's talk about what's in your 10K offer. I would love you to leave this work session with a rough outline. So grab a pen, grab something to write with, something to write on, and let's brainstorm this together. I'd love you to leave with a rough draft of your 10K offer that you'll use in Q4. The way to think about this: what is the first phase of the major work that you do with a client? Whether it is speaking, coaching, consulting, training, facilitation, what's the first phase? Usually, the first phase can be detached and it can be sold separately. Let me repeat that. The first phase of the major work can be detached neatly and cleanly, and it can be sold as that initial 10K offer. So ask yourself the following questions. What's the first thing that you normally work on when you get hired for a big consulting project, a big corporate coaching deal, a long-term training contract? What's the first thing you normally work on? For most people, it's some sort of onboarding process. It's some sort of assessment. Maybe you do interviews with the executives, with the C-suite, with the board. Maybe you start out doing a listening campaign and create a report based on that listening campaign. And then also, once you get started in that first phase of your work, what are some of the initial quick wins that you generate in the first week or the first month? What's the first thing where people start to say, wow, that was great, that moved the needle, that was so helpful, we're getting results already from making this change or implementing this new strategy? So what is the foundation? What would set the foundation for the next stage and the next phase of the major work? So I want you to think in terms of one day. And I gave you an example: a think tank day, or a VIP day, or a strategic work session. Some of you have heard me talk about strategic work session, or an executive whiteboard session would also be a fantastic 10K first foot in the door offer. I wouldn't go past 30 days. So even if you do, hey, it's an executive coaching jumpstart or quick start, It is 30 days, it's 4 weeks, it's 4 intensive one-on-ones, and then we see where we go from there. And that's $10,000. So do not extend it past 30 days. Past 30 days, now we're getting into major work, and now you're cannibalizing your revenue. So 1 day is great, 10 days is great, 7 days is great, 30 days is great. But think in terms of really bracketing it somewhere between 1 and 30 days is where this 10K offer needs to fit. Final question for you to think about. What needs to happen in that initial piece of work? What needs to happen for them to be ideally positioned and prepared for the major work? Is it an assessment? Is it a gap analysis? Is it some sort of diagnostic? Is it a dashboard where they start to evaluate? You help them evaluate. Let's go through what's red, what's yellow, what's green. Because guess what? The reds and the yellows, that's your upselling. That's where you say, okay, we can fix. I'm glad that these are green. Let's fix the reds and the yellows. And there's a couple ways that we can do that. So they do get value from understanding the current state snapshot. By the way, write that down. Current state snapshot. Current state snapshot in itself is a fantastic initial 10K offer, right? That's an assessment. That's a deep dive. That's a diagnostic. So that is how to think about the first phase. It should ideally be a diagnosis. And like any diagnosis process, we're going to probe, we're going to uncover what's going on, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So now they get some valuable, actionable information. That's a yay moment. Then we agitate a little bit, right? Ooh, look at those reds. Ooh, look at those yellows. Wow, here's what that's costing you as far as time, money, rework, wasted effort, slow productivity, whatever it is. Boo, right? These things are bad. The reds and the yellows are problem areas that you can fix with your major work. And then you say, well, here's some different ways that we can solve it. You're not solving it during the 10K initial piece, but you're showing them the pathways that they can solve it either on their own or with your help. And then the prognosis is, please write this down. If you get this right, outcome, 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 all the good stuff. If you get this wrong or you leave it alone, the cost of inaction is bullet, 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 pain, problem, heartache, headache, challenge, gap. So the prognosis piece is, hey, if we flip these reds and yellows to green, here's what happens if we fix it. If you leave things in the current state, here's the risks, here's the dangers, here's the consequences if you don't fix it. So let's talk about some 10K. I want to model this for you so you can literally steal this, write it up this afternoon, have a conversation with someone tomorrow, and sell one of these. Wouldn't that be cool? This depends on your topic, but you can also just switch out the components, switch out the baubles and bangles and beads, and you're good to go. So here's an offer. Future Ready Leadership Roadmap. If you're a leadership person, let's say that you're in the sustainability business, right? Sustainability consulting. And again, notice that some of these are branded. Some of these are, they have their own little value prop based on the naming and branding architecture that I'm sharing with you here. EcoSmart Sustainability Scorecard. Again, what is it? It's a diagnostic process. We have a whole bunch of metrics. What's red? What's yellow? What's green? Now you know. And you also know what to fix, how to fix it. You can fix it on your own, or you can hire us to do phase 2, phase 3, and do it with you and do it for you. If you're in marketing, go to market, G2M stands for go to market. That's a common term. G2M market entry deep dive. That is a little bit of prep on the front end, 1 day together, 1 day or a half a day, depending on how you like to do it. And it's a go to market entry deep dive for companies that are launching a new product or a new service or opening up a new market. Hugely valuable to them. They're spending millions of dollars on a product launch or a service launch or a rebrand or opening up a new vertical. And I just had a client, for example, DuPont just bought a couple of medical device companies. And for a while, DuPont thought they would get out of the medical device business. They decided to double down and acquire a couple of different medical device companies to accelerate their path. And they're literally paying millions of dollars to the team that is doing this go-to-market, market integration, post-merger, post-acquisition, streamlining of these medical device companies into the DuPont family of brands. And they are doing a market entry deep dive, and they're doing board presentations around it, and it's a whole thing. HR Data Health Diagnostic. If you're a data analysis company or a data security company, Obviously, human resources data is some of the most precious data that a company has. Would you like to know how bulletproof your HR data is? Oh, you would. Awesome. HR data health diagnostic. 10K, we come in, we do some stress testing, we crank out some reports, we sit down with your technology team and your executive team, and we show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. What's vulnerable, what's working, what's tight, what's broken, and how smart hackers can come in and totally steal all of your human resources data, including social security numbers and paychecks and bank accounts and direct deposit and all kinds of things. Would you like to find that out, by the way, for $10,000? Oh, you would? Oh, okay. Well, welcome to our HR data health diagnostic. If you're in digital marketing, you have a digital marketing 360 blueprint. What are you doing online and offline to have a robust digital marketing footprint in front of the people that you want to influence or that you want to book demos with or that you want to book calls from? Our digital marketing 360, before we build a website, before we do SEO, before we do all kinds of back-end fancy jazz, the first step is always this digital marketing 360 blueprint. Let's say you work in the banking industry and you like working with bank CEOs and bank executives. I have a friend who is deep into the community banking industry. Community banks are the small, mid-sized banks, not the big national mega banks. She has a brand called Extraordinary Banker, and she has an Extraordinary Banker Roundtable. There's an Extraordinary Banker Conference, and there's an Extraordinary Banker coaching program. So the initial thing that we do is, hey, let's get all your executives in a room for a day. Let's figure out the good, the bad, and the ugly, customer service, lending, retail, checking accounts, right? Let's look at everything, commercial, individual. Let's look at your brand. Let's look at your positioning. Let's look at your competitive analysis. All of this in a single day. So it's a deep dive, multi-pronged assessment, and she calls it the Extraordinary Banker Roundtable. Blue Ocean Strategy Whiteboard Session. Blue Ocean Strategy is a book, of course. Maybe you've heard of it. Blue Ocean Strategy, those consultants, first thing that they might do is sit down with a group of executives that want to implement the Blue Ocean Strategy based on the ideas in their book, and we will do a Blue Ocean Strategy whiteboard session. So take out the specific leadership, sustainability, marketing, data, banking, etc. Look at the last words, because the last words is what you can create. You need to create either a roadmap or a scorecard or a deep dive or a diagnostic or a 360 blueprint or a roundtable or a whiteboard session or a VIP day or a think tank day or a strategic work session. So I'm guessing, because we have a smart group here, I know some of y'all in here, I'm guessing you're 80% there. If I said, okay, we're not going to do it now because we got to move on to other things, but if I said, okay, take 10 minutes on the clock right now and draft the first draft of your 10K offer, I'm betting 80% of you can do it. So that takes care of compelling offer. The rest of October, all of November, all of December, this 10K offer is now in your toolkit. If you do nothing else, and we're talking about quite a bit more here today, if you do nothing else, you sell 5 of those over 3 months, you sell, let's say you sell 1 or 2 in October, you sell 1 or 2 in November, and you sell 1 in December, there's your 50K. There's your 50K of extra revenue. Boom, easy done. Second thing, let's talk about some cash campaigns, because there's some things you can do in Q4 that are uniquely suited to Q4, at least with some companies and some clients and prospects. And so time is of the essence. Time is of the essence. And these cash campaigns are literally designed to bring in an accelerated pace of cash into your bank account. Sometimes people will pay for 2025 programs with $2024 based on what I'm about to share with you. They will literally say, hey, Diane, hey, Peter, is it okay if I write you a check this year, even though the program's not happening until January or February or March, because they want to use this budget cycle to pay for next year's program, whether that's coaching, consulting, speaking, training series, whatever it is you have going on. So let's break that down. If a company has a December 31st budget cycle, meaning their budget, their fiscal year goes January 1 to December 31, we are right now, in this moment in time, experiencing use it or lose it time. Use it or lose it time. Use it or lose it means that if they don't spend the allocated budget on training, employee development, courses, education, programming, if they don't spend it, they will not get that budget back next year, right? Because you spend less, then they take your budget away. So it's use it or lose it time. The headline, and this is also a great subject line for an email. I want you to write this down. Invest 2024 dollars for 2025 success. That's a great subject line. They might have leftover budget for whatever it is that you do, for leadership development, sales training, digital marketing, data analysis, personal, professional development, books, learning materials, courseware, whatever it is, right? They may have leftover budget for fill in the blank. And then depending on what you sell, depending on what you want to sell more of in Q4, you would fill in that blank with coaching or consulting or training or books or seminars or whatever. This is what you do to reconnect with every past client that you've worked with in the last 3 years. Last three. Don't just go back 12 months. Don't just go back 6 months. There are people that are 1, 2, 3 years in your rear view mirror that you have done a terrible job keeping up with. How do I know this? Well, seeing who's on this call, some of you, I have done a terrible job keeping up with. So if you look back at your past clients, at people who have given you money before, if you haven't talked to them, you haven't reached out to them, you haven't had a catch-up chat, right? You want to reconnect with past clients, say, hey, how was 2024? What's exciting for 2025? And I have a couple ideas that I wanted to run by you. You may be sitting on some use it or lose it budget money. Can we talk about how to invest that for your 2025 success? So you want to reconnect with past clients, absolutely. And perhaps even a bigger pool is reconnect with past prospects. So who did you talk to that you thought was a great prospect? They just didn't end up buying. They didn't cross the finish line. They didn't accept the proposal. They said, oh, that was too much. That was too soon. It's not the right time. And you let them go. But the problem is you let them go forever. And now is a beautiful opportunity and a relevant opportunity to get back with them. So past clients and past prospects. I have a whole training on how to do this with a template. If you would like the template, please drop the word template into the chat. We don't have time to go through the template, but I want to absolutely give it to you and make sure that you have this. These are emails you can send tomorrow. Literally, when I show you, there's going to be a template. There's going to be a filled in example of the emails that you can send with using the template. And then all you do is you literally copy paste it. Literally copy paste send, copy paste adapt send. It's not copy paste send. I lied. It's copy paste slight adapt send. You can send 5 of these tomorrow. You can send 10 of these tomorrow. You can send 30 of these tomorrow. And I guarantee that you will have some great conversations and you will probably sell some of your 10K front end offer. So everyone that typed in template, you are getting the template. Just sit tight. We'll make sure that goes out to the folks that typed template into the chat. Let's talk about the next campaign, which is current client retention and renewal. This is an evergreen strategy, but a lot of people don't do it. And a lot of people that try and do it don't do it right. So this is not only for Q4, but certainly if people are on a contract that is ending sometime in the next 3, 4, 5, 6 months, right? Maybe the contract ends in November. Maybe the contract ends in February. Maybe the contract ends in March. You don't want to have the retention and renewal conversation at the end. Let me repeat that. You don't want to have the retention and renewal conversation at the end. You want to dig your well before you're thirsty, and you want to make sure that people are aware that there's a next level, there's a next step, there's a next milestone and marker to the work that you can do together, either to retain them and to continue the current contract into 2025, right? That's renewal, or retention, upgrades, add-ons, go deeper and deeper and deeper. So I'll share a fun story with you. This is from last year. Had a client who closed a healthcare system on a $220,000 year-long ongoing consulting and training package. And it was time for renewal. And we're about 2 or 3 months away from it. And she says, David, I'm going to renew the hospital. What do I need to do? What do I need to say? What do I need to ask? And we went over all of that. And she had the meeting. And in our client Facebook group, because we talked about this privately, she and I, and we also talked about it on a group call with the rest of the cohort. So she posts in our client community, guys, I had the call. And you remember my 200K client, 200K healthcare client that was supposed to renew? Well, they didn't renew for 200K. And everyone's like, oh man, dude, it's okay. Even a smaller deal is great. And what was it? 50K, 100K. Don't feel bad. She got this outpouring of love and affection and support and condolences. She's sly. She is very, very sly. What was one of my favorite clients. She lets all the condolences, all the sorry, I feel you, we got you, you're still awesome, you're still amazing. She lets all of that trickle in. The next day, she says, they didn't renew for 200,000. They renewed for 300,000. So that was the punchline, my friends, is that the deal, not only was it renewed, it was expanded. It was expanded. So first year deal with the hospital, 200K, 220, I think. Second year deal, they basically said, we want more and we need more. 300K deal for year two. 300K deal for year two. So that's how important this is. Obviously, you want to have this conversation with your current clients. You want to think about, given where you are, given how far they've come, how does it make sense and what does it make sense to extend your relationship, open up the next phase of work, right? Because we all go from, we got to we got to crawl to walk to run to fly. Crawl, walk, run, fly. Some of you do fly to supersonic. Some of you do supersonic to intergalactic. It's all good. It's all good. But what's the next phase look like? How do we deepen? In other words, how do we go further with the people that we're already working with? And how do we widen? How do we go horizontally? What other departments, groups, business units should have this amazing program that you just did for them? The way to think about this, I want you to write down these 3 questions with every single current client retention and renewal conversation you have. What you're really probing for is what next, who next, and where next. So what do you want to do next with this amazing team that we spent 12 months working with? Who next should we do a similar program for? Where in the company? What other departments, business units, geographies, brands should we take this to? Here are 6 magic words. These 6 magic words, this is 50K by itself. This is 50K by itself. So forget about strategy 1, forget about strategy 2. If you just did the 6 magic words of going to every single current client that you have and asking, who else should I be helping? 6 magic words. Who else should I be helping? If you're not asking who else should I be helping, you're probably leaving $50,000 to $100,000 on the table right here, right now. So even if you filled the rest of your week this week and then early next week into ringing up all of your current clients and simply ask them the 6-word question, hey, Barbara, hey, Bob, hey, Steve, who else should I be helping? Really love working with the team over here. Really love working with this department. Really love all the great things we're doing in the Western Division. I got a question for you. Who else should I be helping? And you will be amazed at the answers that you get and the business that starts to fall into your lap. Who else should I be helping? Who else should I be helping? Final idea comes from my friend and client, Jen Kronberger, who runs the Human Leadership Institute. She does this thing where after every major milestone, she creates what's called an impact report. Here's where we started. Here's where we are. Here's the opening snapshot. Here's all the progress. The most impactful, no pun intended, the most important and impactful part of this impact report is the last couple of pages. The last couple of pages have this title: Your People, Their Words. So there she takes direct quotes from conversations, from emails, from evaluation forms, from comments that people have made to her in the hallway and in meetings and in status updates and in coaching calls. What was awesome? What was amazing? What were the results? How do we move the needle? How important was this to your people? How important was this to their results? How important was it to their performance? How important was it to their retention and their loyalty and their productivity and their commitment and their level of excellence and any possible metric? Your people, their words. And it doesn't have to be long. You can pull 10 quotes into this. And this is what's going to get you sticky retention and renewal. This is where you get your lifers, So we have clients who say, David, I'm never leaving. I'm never leaving. You are my guy. I cannot imagine running my business without you by my side. Now, that makes me feel good. That makes me feel nice. We have a nice retention and renewal thing going on here, but that's what you want when you're selling into a corporation or even a small company, mid-sized company. What their people say, what their people think, that is the best possible sales tool that you will ever get your hands on. So create the impact report. Yes, you want metrics. Yes, you want some assessments. Yes, you want some narrative in there. But the most important part of this, the stickiest part of this, is your people, their words. Your people, their words. All right, that takes care of your optimized outreach. And I do hope that you spend some time today and tomorrow and early next week implementing that. Let's talk about revenue multipliers. Revenue multipliers. So as we're recording this, we are coming into Halloween, and of course, we're coming into the holidays. We're coming into Thanksgiving. We're coming into Black Friday. We're coming into Cyber Monday. We're coming into Giving Tuesday. We're coming into Amazon deals. We're coming into all kinds of crazy commercial nonsense. And according to my friend and client, Annie Schiffman, who wrote an amazing book called Simple Social Media, this happens with professional services firms mostly, right? Black Friday, Cyber Monday, my friends, that's a retail thing. That's a retail thing. But service business owners like you and me, we say to ourselves, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Doesn't apply to me. Don't want to do it. It'll cheapen my brand. It's not relevant, not appropriate. Don't want to do it. Not gonna, don't want to. You can't make me. Then we start getting into the second, third week of November. And you start getting deluged. I mean, you start getting hammered with offer after offer after offer. Black Friday, Black Friday, Black Friday, gratitude special. We're so thankful for our clients. You're so amazing. Here's a super bundle. Here's this, here's that, Cyber Monday. And you get seduced. So here you are. It's going to be like November 20th, November 21st. You're in this frenzy going, everyone's doing a Black Friday special. You're looking at your competitors. They're all doing a Black Friday special, and you scramble. You say, okay, I'm going to cobble something together. I'm going to throw it out there, and it's going to be a disaster because you didn't plan it. You didn't think it through. So it's better to not do it at all or do it with intention and start thinking about that now. Start thinking about that today. I have a very, very personal connection to the month of November because November of 2015 was our first six-figure month ever. The reason that November 2015 was our first six-figure month ever is I did 3 separate promotions intentionally. First time ever, by the way, first time ever. 3 separate promotions in the month of November. Black Friday, Cyber Monday, gratitude special. I'm going to break this down for you and show you what happened, show you what I did. But this can have a significant impact on your Q4 revenue. So here was September of 2015. We weren't doing bad. About $57,000 came in. So that was fun. That was a good average month back in 2015. October, a little bit better, not setting the world on fire. So there's 67,000. Because of what I'm about to show you, November of 2015 was our first six-figure month, and not by a little, by quite a lot. $147,000 came in the month of November 2015. So how did that happen? That happened because of revenue multipliers. Revenue multipliers are things that you can do in Q4 that you really probably can't do, wouldn't make sense, wouldn't be relevant any other time of year. And notice these are not small dollar figures. This is selling stuff for $9,500, $6,000, $12,000, $5,000. These are not small, it's not like I sold a million things for $12.95. These are big ticket, B2B coaching, consulting, training, speaking offers. Okay? Okay. So strap in. Here we go. Let's break it down. That's what happened in November of 2015. So the revenue multipliers, you can start with Halloween. I typically don't do Halloween, but you can have a scary good offer, right? Maybe one of your 10K offers is a scary good offer. Do not discount, by the way. We're going to get to that in a moment, but this is not about take what you ordinarily sell for 10K, drop it down to 5. This is about adding value. It's not about dropping price. Please write that down. Adding value, not dropping price. Adding value, not dropping price. You write it down a third time. Adding value, not dropping price. You can start with Halloween. I like to start, now I've only done, I'm going to show you about, 7 or 8 of these. I did 3. And I generated an extra, $80,000 from 67 the month before to 147. I generated extra $80,000. Not 80,000, but extra 80,000. So gratitude special, we'll talk about what's in these here in a moment. Gratitude special, that was a promotion. Thanksgiving, the week before, 10 days before, Black Friday promotion. That was the second one I did. And then cleanup was Cyber Monday. Cyber Monday means I'm sending emails, social posts, conversations. Black Friday, Oh, no one's working Black Friday. Yes, they are. The executives, they're working Black Friday. People are in the office, people are checking email, they're on their phones, maybe they're out doing whatever, but they're getting email, they're answering calls. I made the promotion for Cyber Monday. Think about this now. It was Black Friday, Saturday, Sunday, yes, weekend. Executives respond on weekends, and Monday. And then it was over. So, gratitude special, Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Now, you can keep going. You can keep going. December is an amazing time to put together what I call a finish line program, right? End the year strong, set the foundation for success in 2025 with whatever it is that you do: leadership, sales, culture, strategy, you name it. Finish line program. Holiday bundle. Holiday bundle. We'll talk about that in a moment. Two bonus strategies, two bonus revenue multipliers. Share with people that your prices are going up in 2025. And I hope that your prices are going up in 2025. They can lock in now at the 2024 rate if they prepay before December 31st. Second bonus is, think about right now we're doing a Q4 workshop. Imagine if there's a Q1 workshop, which I'll probably do. Q1 workshop is, okay, how are you launching your clients into the new year? What's your new year Q1 specials? Call it something like a launch pad or a kickstart or a jump start or a smart start. Put in what you do: leadership, strategy, culture, customer service, presentation skills, communication skills, crisis communication, data health, marketing, whatever. Launchpad, kickstart, jumpstart, smart start. That's your second bonus strategy. That's for the new year, right? We let the new year craziness kind of wear off. Kids are back in school. You start talking about this, promoting this, putting information on LinkedIn, sending out personal emails. January 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, whatever. That first full week of January, that's when you do this. So let's talk about why I was scared out of my mind in November of 2015. You're listening to this and you go, oh, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I am totally not doing that. Newman, I love you. This sounds good on paper. I'm glad you had a $147,000 month. I'm not doing that. I'm scared. This is a photo courtesy of ChatGPT. Here's what I said. I said this to myself. I said this to my business mentor at the time. People are going to hate me. People are going to unsubscribe. I'm going to seem desperate. I'm going to seem sleazy. I'm going to seem spammy. I'm going to seem like a huckster and a hawkster. And this is going to be awful. This is going to damage my brand. People will unsubscribe. I will get hate mail. I am absolutely not doing this. I started doing this. I put the pieces in place, and then I stopped. And I said, oh my God, what the hell am I doing? I'm becoming that guy, right? You know what I'm talking about. I'm becoming that guy that is constantly pitching and pushing and peddling, and it's going to be sleazy and slimy and desperate and terrible. My mentor says to me, the best advice ever. I'm just dumping all this on him. Can't do it. Oh my God, all the things I just said. Best advice ever. David, don't think. Just do. Trust me, this works. This works, and people will have the opposite reaction. They will love you for it because you are truly helping them. And if they don't love it and they don't buy it, they're welcome to unsubscribe anyway. And they probably would have whether you did this or not. But you want to be able to help more people. If you help more people, then you put more offers into the marketplace. So I swallowed my pride. I followed his advice. Don't think, because I'm a classic overthinker. I don't know if anyone else here is a classic overthinker, but I'm a recovering overthinker right here. I'm a recovering overthinker. Even though the name of my company, the name of my brand, the name of my books is do it, do it, do it. I do that for myself, right? I'm the guy that needs to do it. And I figure all my friends and clients and prospects also need that same message. So secure your own mask before assisting others. That's what I did. And that's what generated a $147,000 month in November of 2015. Hate mail I received, 0. Unsubscribes, no more than normal. People hating on my social media posts and videos, no more than normal. People, dropping off my webinars, not more than normal. So here's how to put your gratitude specials together. Think about value and exclusivity. I already talked about no discounting. This is a power position. This is the only time you will be able to get whatever it is that you're offering. So we're not discounting, we're adding value. Not discounting, we're adding value. Create special one-time only packages. Think about combining, bundling, or unbundling what you ordinarily sell separately, or what you ordinarily sell as a package, right? Like we unbundled the 10K offer. Maybe the 10K offer is one of your gratitude specials, but we're not dropping the price. We're simply making it more available. Make it relevant, generous, and risk-free. All three of those words are very important. Relevant to them. Remember 111. Solve one specific problem for one specific prospect in one specific way. Make it generous, meaning the value far exceeds the fee, and make it risk-free in some way. Make it risk-free. Use real deadlines, not fake deadlines, not fake urgency, but real deadlines, things like dates. Hey team, this program starts on December 1st, right? There's only 10 times available, right? I got one-on-one slots. It's happening next week, 3 on Monday, 3 on Tuesday, 3 on Wednesday. That's a natural deadline. If you're not signed up by Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, you're not getting it. So think in terms of dates, times, start dates, things that naturally would get people off the fence, and then use real scarcity, saying there's only 10 of these. We're only letting 5 people into the program. I've got 6 VIP days between now and December 31st. You can do countdowns. You can also do price jumps. I personally am not a big fan of price jumps. Price jump, in case you don't know, the first 5 people get it for $9.99. The next 5 people get it for $12.99. The next 5 people get it for $14.99. And of course, you keep track, and then you keep ratcheting up the price as those sales come in. That's a little bit, I think that's a little bit manipulative. I will tell you, people have had good success with it. I personally have not done that strategy, but people have had good success with it because, again, it is a combination of deadlines, scarcity, and urgency. I want one of those first 5 spots. Oh, the first 5 spots are gone. I definitely want one of the next 5 spots because then the price is going to go up again. So price jump, something to think about. I'm not personally a fan, but it's worked well. And then use real urgency. So things like expiration dates, genuine fear of missing out, FOMO, right? Value. So here's the deal. Amazon is selling something for $1.50 on Black Friday. On Saturday, it's back to $8. It's like, can I get the Black Friday deal on Saturday? No. Can I get the Black Friday deal in December? No. That's the point. That is the entire point. So expiration dates are your friend. Expiration dates, fear of missing out, and value. Value. So here's why this is important. All of these things, all 4 of these ideas that we talked about today is a bridge strategy, right? We're building a bridge. They're getting a taste. They're getting a flavor. Their choice doesn't become, I wonder what I get if I work with Petra. I wonder what it's like if I sign up with Peter. I wonder if we bring in Virginia for some training. I wonder what Peggy's consulting would feel like. I wonder if Edith understands our culture and can really help us. So they're getting a taste. They're getting a sample. They're getting some value, tremendous value. And their choice then becomes not, hey, do I want to start? It's, do I want to continue? Do I want to continue? And it is much easier to deliver amazing value in a defined, tightly packaged program and then go, oh my gosh, we want more. We need more. We want to go deeper. We want to go wider. We want to go further. We want to go faster. You're amazing. You're awesome. What else can you do for us? How else can you help us? Now the door is open. So my friends, that's what I have for you. Timing is everything. If you heard some of this and you're like, I think this Crazy Newman character can help me, I would love to have a chat with you. This is a non-selling conversation, but if you want to explore what we might do together to fix your marketing, fix your positioning, messaging, pricing, land better clients, bigger deals, higher fees, or operationalize any of the things we talked about today, please just type in results into the chat, and I will send you a link to book a 15-minute exploratory chat about how we might work together. There's nothing to buy. There's no pressure. There is no weirdness. There is none of that. But I would love, number one, just to catch up with where you're at as far as what you're going to implement from this masterclass. And if you do want, now that you've had the sample, now that we've talked about the bridge strategy, you're like, this guy, I think he might be able to help me with some stuff. I would love to explore that with you on a peer-to-peer basis. And if I can help you, if I can help you, I will tell you what that looks like. I will also say that we do have some new things now so that I can genuinely say we have something for every budget. And it is not a big, gigantic, enormous investment or nothing at all. For many, many years, it was a big, ginormous investment or nothing at all. And so now we have a couple of stair-step things that we can help you with. I also want to hang out here for a little bit more. So thank you for those results. I will hit you up with my calendar link here after we're done. I'm curious, what out of everything we talked about today, so we talked about the 10K front-end offer, we talked about the cash campaign, we talked about the revenue multipliers, and we talked about the seasonal Q4 special promotions. Out of everything we talked about today, what has you excited? What has you tingly? Just leave me a kind of parting comment here in the chat. And if you want to put results in, I've got the results people. If there's more results people, feel free to put that in. But I'm curious, what's your big takeaway? And then if you have questions, let me know what questions I can answer. And I'm happy to go a little bit deeper into any of these items we talked about after that final sip of coffee.